Hello and welcome back to the channel. On the operating table today we have Ben Affleck Batman. I'm going to try and improve its head, neck and articulation, so let's get to it. This Batman is DC Multiverse, obviously based on the BVS movie, and for my liking I think this Ben Affleck Batman, his neck is far too high and his face seems to be a bit squished, not as fat. So I'll bring in this Mezco Batman. That's the kind of look I want. So his neck sits a lot lower down and his head isn't as thin and long. So what we're going to do is pop this guy's head off and try and make it look a bit like this. So first off, take the head off and you can already see why this guy's head sits so far up. He's got this really long peg, so he needs to kind of sit round about there. So with having loads of odd bits laying around from other customs I've done in the past, I've got this neck peg, which I think came from a Hush Superman. So we're going to pop this guy out, put this in, and see what kind of difference that makes. So let's get my little pincers, grab hold of them here, and it should pop any second now. There we go. And let's put the new one in. It's a little bit fatter, but it should fit in there, hopefully. So again, I'll get these to try and help it a bit better. Maybe grab it about there. See if we can do it on camera. If not, I'll have to heat it up. There we go, and it's popped in place. You've still got all the range of motion. So let's pop the head back on and see what it looks like. If it wants to go in. There we go, pop. And you can already see that has made a huge difference in my opinion. And it's still got got all its range still. So that's what it's like now. That's what we're kind of going for. I think it's getting there. So to try and make his face a little bit fatter, I'm going to heat this guy up and see if we can kind of mold it and push the plastic out a little bit. So let's boil the kettle and see what we can do.
A few moments later.
Let's pop this head off. Dunk it in there. Let's let it cook for a little bit. So articulation on here, he's got a bit of a poor range on his leg. As you can see, it's all restricted. That's weird. Never noticed the back and the front. Look at that. It's completely different sort of colour plastic. It's got a slight wash on the front. And then the back, nothing. But anyway, the articulation is restricted from the diaper here. So what I think I might do is trim away some of this to see if we can get his leg sticking out a bit further. And same for his abs, because he can't really crunch that well. He's restricted with all this plastic here, so I'll give it a go and Dremel some of this plastic out and see how we get on. But before I do that, let's see if we can fix this head. So it should be very gummy and pliable now, you can see. So I'm going to apply a bit of pressure on his forehead and his mouth there. You can see it's getting a little bit fatter. So if I hold it there for a little bit and let it cool, it should hopefully sort of hold its position. And when I put it on its peg, it should look a lot better. So let's give it a few seconds. It looks really weird, but I think it's going to work. Fingers crossed. Never really done anything like this before. If you've done this technique, let me know, because I don't know if I'm doing it right, wrong, but if it works and gets the result I'm after, it's a win for me. So let's cool down a little bit. So let's pop it back on and see what it looks like. So, put it back on its peg. Oh, aye. Look at that. Fat man. Fantastic. I think it's looking more like the shape I want it. Yeah, I'm liking that. So, I'm going to try and edit these articulation bits now. So, all you need for this is some X-Acto knives. So, get these out here. Hopefully this is sharp enough. It might not be. Get another one. That one might do. So we'll pop off the legs and we'll start trimming away the trunks and see what kind of range we can get this guy. So hopefully the legs pop off with ease. If not, I'll have to heat them up. Oh, there we go. There's one. Get the other one off. Two. Fantastic. So there's its diaper. I might even trim some of the inside out just so he's got a bit more range for his torso to go side to side, but we'll see how we get on. So I'm thinking sort of just where that crease is. So hopefully on camera I can actually do this. I look like an idiot if not. I know I shouldn't cut towards me, but I am. So I'll just slightly trim some of this away. Maybe go a bit further down there. Make it a bit straighter. There you go. Obviously if you try this, do be careful and take your time. I'm rushing for demonstration purposes, so hopefully I'm doing okay and I haven't ruined my figure, fingers crossed. So again, we'll just take off some of the unwanted plastic. Can you see that yet? It's on camera. There we go. Let's get the leg to kind of see how it is. Maybe do a tiny bit at the top here. So let's try that. Oh, it helps if you put the blade the right way, doesn't it? Peel it away. Again. So if anyone watching this has done a custom or modified this Batman, let me know what you've done, because eventually I will be repainting this guy and adding, you know, black highlights to the belt. I'll be putting a wash on him, changing his face a little bit, giving him like some stubble. So stay tuned for that one. Right, I think that should be enough for now. Let's take some of the excess from around here. So just scrape it around. Should really use a Dremel for this, but this knife seems to be pretty sharp, so it's doing the job. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, much better. Just keep scraping away until you take as much out as you want. How's that looking? Let's take some from the sides here. There we go. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Yeah, I don't think you need too much out, but If I need to take more, I will do, probably off camera, so I can focus on it a bit better. But yeah, I can feel less resistance. I think that should be okay. Right, now let's pop his legs back on. Hopefully I can do this on camera, because these can be a pain sometimes to put on. I'm not going to do a thigh cut on this guy, because I quite like all the texture, and I feel like if I put a thigh cut on here, it'll break up the sculpt a bit. So I won't be doing it on this guy, but I have got a video on how to actually do it. So if you don't know how to do it and you want to know how to do it, feel free to check it out. So there's one leg in. Yeah, you can already see. Get his leg a lot higher. I might actually go in off camera and cut a tiny bit more, just to get a little bit more range. But you see what I'm getting at. Right, let's try the other leg. Wants to go in. There we go, it's a little bit easier. Let's see. It's actually made the diaper look a little bit more flush. It's not as bulky looking. It actually looks, in my opinion, better, but let me know your thoughts on that. That's the legs done. Off camera, I've tidied it up a little bit around the edges, and I also went to change the articulation on the abs here, but for some reason my Dremel just doesn't want to switch on, won't charge. It's completely kabuggered, so I've gone for plan B, which was I retook the legs off, and then I just carried on taking some of the plastic around the edge of the belt from the inside, and by doing that it's made one hell of a difference with articulation. So check this out. You can get a really nice crunch now, and with having movement here, it's got loads of great range. Very squeaky, you can hear the plastic rubbing, but it's helped with the articulation here, and it's helped here. I think that's made a big difference. Once my Dremel is fixed, I might re-go in and see if I can take a bit of plastic away from here to give it a better crunch, but for now I'm very happy with the results. Let me know what you think of that. So when I do come to customize this guy, I'm thinking of changing the cape, but as much as I like cloth capes, I'm thinking of putting an old McFarlane plastic cape on, because I think it might give it some nice textures to complement the suit. What do you think? Should I have a cloth cape or plastic cape? So thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for a custom on this guy. Bye for now.